Hey guys, it's me, John Avenger, once again, and welcome to another review, a random review month, month. Yeah, this is definitely a random review because this movie was so random that I just saw on Disney Plus. It's a animated CGI animated Pixar movie that came out on Disney Plus yesterday. I just saw it today with my family, but it didn't do anything for me. I'm gonna be honest, guys. It's a big disappointment, one of the biggest of the year so far, and that is. No, it's not Lightyear. That hasn't come out yet. I hope that knocks my socks off, because if Disney keeps making movies like this, I'm just going to be done with them, because they're just fucking assholes. And this is Turning Red. Yeah, I was turning red, alright, with anger, because I'm like, how could Disney make this freaking Asian-inspired movie and have and make the themes more for adults than for kids? Disney, kids want to see these movies. They're not meant for adults only. They're meant for kids. Make these movies be for kids. You don't have to be stupid, but know what the audience you're catering to. This was just pandering all the way. You had the freaking pandering to the to the freaking, the labels, you know what that means, the gay community. Then you have the freaking the Asian. You have to pander to the Asian representation, diversity hires, and then you got to pander to girls. Yeah, again, guy, do I look like a girl to you? I'm not a girl, Disney. Yeah, this is really disappointing. Directed by Dominic Shi, another Asian director making her film debut. Yeah, you failed, just like Chloe Zhao did last year with Eternals. I don't like forced representation. It's just not needed. The voice acting wasn't the problem this time. With Raya, I had problems with some of the voice actors. Here, the voice acting is not the issue. The actors do the best they could. Sandra Oh is the mom. Rosalie Chiang as Mei Ling. Ava Morse and Hin Park and all these people. Yeah, they're fine. Even James Hong, and he plays an old man and everything now because he's 90 now. But this movie was not funny. I didn't find it charming like the critics did. I thought it was forgettable. Really forgettable. As soon as it was over, I was like, yeah, I'd rather watch Toy Story again. I'd rather watch Kung Fu Panda, a movie about a real panda that stays a panda. It's not like Po becomes a human at the end. No, he stays as a black and white panda. It's a much better Asian storyline, and it didn't have to pander. It had male characters and female characters that were badass. Here, you got a 13-year-old girl with bipolar disorder. Every time she gets excited or scared, she becomes a red panda, and I'm like, it's a stupid premise. I don't know what they were thinking. This is why it didn't show up in theaters, just like with Onward in 2020 when it bombed and they just put it direct to Disney Plus. The film received acclaim for praise for its story, humor, and animation. The animation is stunning. That's one of the only highlights of the movie. It's a beautiful looking animated film. The animators deserve a hand. It's got like great colors and the Asian representation. Some of the culture I liked it, but like I said, forcing every character to be female, fuck you, Disney. I'm done with that. Stop making your Pixar movies pandering. No one liked Brave. Brave was not one of their best, efforts back in 2012. And this movie's so dated. You know when it takes place? In 2002. Not 2012, not 2020, not 2021, not even this year. 20 years ago. Half of the jokes in there are dated references that we don't get anymore because everything is digital now. Back in 2002, people went outside and they played with Tamagotchis and they were obsessed with boy bands. Nowadays, you can just hear boy bands on freaking YouTube or on Spotify, or you can see concerts streamed on your computer. It's the same. It's a lot different now than in 2002. And look at the consensus. Heartwarming, I didn't feel anything. I'm sorry. It's a mother-daughter story, just like in Brave. Humorous, I didn't laugh once. I smiled occasionally, but it was for some stupid jokes. And culturally expansive, Turning Red extends Pixar's long list of family-friendly triumphs. No, it's not. Luca was better than this. That was a gorgeous animated movie that had two boys and a girl, so you got the best of both worlds. There's no freaking sexist dominance in this movie, in that movie. And that was the same thing about acceptance. I get it, Disney. You didn't have to make a 90-minute movie about that. Hell, this movie's not even 90 minutes. It's an hour and 29. The end credits are like 11 minutes long, and then there's a post-credit scene with the dad. He's secretly a fan of Four Town, that boy band that comes to Canada. Yeah, Canada. I'm not Canadian, guys. I don't get what a teenage girl from Canada's interests are. And I don't want to see a sequel to this. Just like with Eternals, I'm done. I don't want to see any more of this forced representation. What's next? They're going to do a movie about Russia? Like they did last year with Black Widow? No. If you can't do it right, don't. Getting one of the writers of Daredevil didn't help. And I'm talking about the Daredevil Netflix show, not the Ben Affleck movie. And it disappointed me. It disappointed me. Was I expecting much? No, but you got to give me more than just good animation. You got to give me a character I can get behind. A bipolar freaking 13-year-old Asian girl from Canada, can't relate to that. Sorry. No relation. And again, just like in Raya, the guy characters get put to the sidelines in this movie. I'm sick of that. Either don't have guys in the movie or have guys that are strong in the movie. Her trying to attack one of the guy characters as a panda, that's a blow to my pride. And like I said, the voice acting is not terrible. It's just it's substance that I didn't care for. I didn't care about the mysticism of the red panda mythology or going through portals. I already saw that with Doctor Strange. I'm just sick of it. I'm sick of all this pandering. There's a period blood joke in this movie. Period blood. In a freaking Disney movie. Yeah, they have no shame anymore. They're just going to beat agendas into our heads and these thematic elements. Kids don't need to know about period blood, okay? They don't know what that... Unless you're a little girl becoming a woman, yeah. They're not going to know what that is. It's too early for that. See? And it says, yeah, Sean O'Connell, I agree with the cinema blend. He called the film on a Chinese-Canadian girl limited. Yeah, exactly. I'm not Chinese. I'm not Canadian. I'm not a freaking girl. I'm a fully functional heterosexual man. Boy, male. Not freaking girl. I have no relation to this character. I love Asian girls, but when they're legal. Not when they're little teeny boppers saying, I'm 13, that means I'm a woman. No. In several states, in America, you'll get arrested if you had sex at 13. Trust me on that one. You're a minor. You're not a woman. The girl from Kung Fu is a woman. Because she's 27. She's no teenager now. Yeah, limiting to a broad audience, and that by rooting Turning Red with very specifically in the Asian community of Toronto, the film legitimately feels like it was made for Domi-sized friends and immediate family members. Exactly, and I don't give a shit. Okay? I care about the Asians that matter to me. The ones that I saw in Raya. The few that I saw in Raya. The ones in Shang-Chi. The ones in Kung Fu. The ones in the original Mulan. I care, trust me. Look at my Facebook page. Got plenty of Asian girls that I can whack it to. This little teeny bopper limited my interest and I didn't give a shit. Riley from Inside Out was better. Why? Because the voices in her head were the most interesting parts of the movie. She didn't overshadow the rest of the characters. Some of the voices were male. Bing bong. Male character. Interesting. This just didn't have it. I was bored throughout most of it. Members of the press and others criticized the review, calling it racist and sexist. What racist? That you put a bunch of Asians shit because of what happened to them the past 2 years? It feels like you're pandering, Disney. Stop already. You failed with Mulan, the Mulan remake. You failed with Raya. Raya's not winning a Best Oscar for Best Animated Oscar, and this movie failed. Lightyear better knock my socks off, or I'm done with this era of Pixar, because it's just not the Pixar from my past. The last great Pixar movie was Toy Story 4. There, I said it. I didn't give a shit about Onward. I didn't watch Soul. I'm not going to watch this again. Encanto, I don't know if that's Pixar or not, but I didn't like that either. Again, representation. That's all they're doing now. Remaking, representation, and gay agendas. Kiss my freaking heterosexual ass, Disney. My male heterosexual ass. Turning red. If she got angry and then turned red, that would make sense. But getting excited or horny or whatever, yeah, it's not for me. It's just not for me. Apologize publicly? No. You're limiting your audience. It's like doing a freaking Asian movie about Asians that are from the UK. I can't relate to that either. I saw that last year with Eternals, and that was a disaster. And I'm just sick of it. I'm sick and tired of it. You can't force an agenda just because of what's happening in the world. That's like doing a movie about Ukraine next year and making a war movie about that. Too soon. You don't need to put allegories in everything that you do, Disney. I'm tired of it. I was tired of it years ago. We get it. You want more diversity. You don't have to shove it around down our throats. You can make a movie representation the right way. Not freaking... Let's do an Asian representation movie. Oh, excuse me. Doing our Asian representation movie with forced agendas behind it. Just like you always do. Raya, I didn't need a villain that was a lesbian. Sorry, it didn't do it for me. And the ending where the villain is the hero at the end, it didn't bother. There's no villain in this movie. The villain is the conflict within these girls. The little girl and her mother and her grandmother and her ancestors, etc., etc., etc. I've seen it all before. You're not going to do it better than you did in Avatar: The Last Airbender or Brave or any other movie. Just saying, guys, it didn't do it for me. Disney, stop being so freaking lazy. You do one more movie like this, I'm done. I said I hated Jungle Cruise. I'm done with your live-action bullshit movies. This is the closest to me rage quitting, because you're not doing movies meant for me. You're not even doing films meant for kids. You're trying to pander to a group, to woke people that don't want to see these movies in the first place. I'm sorry. This is not the Disney of my childhood. This is the woke freaking the diversity hired Disney that feels bad, pandering Disney that wants to give it to you whether you like it or not. I'm done. Anyway, if you've seen Turning Red and you liked it, that's fine. I'm not going to say you're an idiot, but I didn't care for it. It's not meant for me. I'm not a little Asian girl from Canada. I'm not. I thought Abominable was way better than this. At least the lead girl in that wasn't 12. Chloe Bennett is way better looking, and she's old enough for me. If you're not going to give me a lead that's legal, I have no interest. Sorry. I'm not a pedophile. I'm not a pedophile. I'm not into young girls that are under 18. Not for me. I'm not going to go to prison. I want to get pleasure out of a female that's old enough for me. No matter how old they are. If they're 18 or 25 or 35. If they're legal, it's a fair ball game. If they're under 12, no. There's only so much more you can do. There's only so much you can do with this. But anyway, skip Turning Red. If you haven't seen it, I would say skip it. It's not worth your time. Go see something else. There's better Pixar movies that came out 20 years ago that were better than this. Or 25 years ago. But anyway, that's my review of Turning Red. It did make me turn red with rage because of Disney's agenda manufactured bullshit now. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.